Welcome to the Dental A Team Podcast. I'm your host, Kira Dent, and I have this crazy idea that maybe I could combine a doctor and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, regional manager, practice owner, and I have a team of traveling consultants where we have traveled to over 165 different offices coaching teams. Yep, we don't just understand you, we are you. Our mission is to positively impact the world of dental, and I believe that this podcast is the greatest way I can help elevate teams, grow VIP experiences, reduce stress, and create A-teams. Welcome to the Dental A-Team Podcast. Hello, Dental A-Team listeners. This is Kira, and today... Now I'm self-conscious. You guys heard the one with Ashley where she said, every day you say you're so excited, but I am excited. I don't get on the mic unless I'm in peak state, you guys, and I'm usually really jazzed. And so today I wanted to just kind of go through this last weekend. I actually attended Tony Robbins again, you guys. I'm an addict. I went back again. Tony Robbins, I wanted to actually get Jason, my husband, on board with personal development. And we've been married, it'll be 10 years in October. And I lied. I totally lied, you guys. It's only been 9 years. 9 years in October. And in our 9 years of marriage, I have always been the one who wanted to start a business, and I'm very driven and I'm learning from different people and growing and evolving. And Jason is one that I think is a good yin to my yang of just contentment. Jason, his family had businesses, and he said, I want to be a pharmacist because I don't want to have the stress of running a business every day. And I remember being really irritated with him as we were growing up and evolving in our relationship and just feeling that he was on a different path than me. And so when I went to Tony Robbins Business Mastery last year with Kaylee, I came back a different person. And I will say in the last 3 years, Jason, especially in the last year, has decided that he really does want to grow and progress. And he told me, and this is not me trying to be pompous in any way, shape, so I hope it doesn't come across that way. But Jason told me, he said, Kira, watching you chase your dreams and your passions and build Dental A-Team and loving your clients and loving this podcast and doing things that scare you so bad every single day has really been an inspiration to me of who I want to become and the potential I have. And one, that was a huge compliment. And also a shout out to all of you that if you're around team members or you're a doctor and you don't believe your team has it within them, sometimes just your influence alone can impact and change an entire group of people around you. So don't forget that. And number two, if you're somebody who doesn't feel that that's just you by nature, you can also change and you can evolve if you want to. So the invitation's there. So Jason, for Christmas, I decided to buy him Unleash the Power Within tickets to Tony Robbins. That's one of the gifts I wanted to give him because I thought of anything I could give him, it would be to develop himself as a person as well. I came back from Business Mastery last year on cloud freaking 9, and I decided I wanted Jason to experience that as well. Well, COVID happened, so Tony Robbins got canceled. Then it went to virtual. So this last weekend we did UPW, Unleash the Power Within, virtual. And so today I just kind of wanted to recap some of those things of like really solid takeaways that I got from that. And of course, tying into dentistry for you guys. And the reason I talk about this is because I think so often we fail to develop ourselves as people. We are so invested in developing the systems and the processes. And when we step back and realize if we became smarter, if we became more innovative, if we became scholars of marketing or of new patient experiences, which shout out to all of you for listening to this podcast, by the way, if it's changed you in any way, shape, or form, guys, please go leave us a review. I don't say that passively. I say that actively because that's the only way we can impact more people. So if it's positively impacted you in any way, shape, or form, please go leave us a review, share it with a friend, share it with a coworker, have them subscribe because at the end of the day, this is how we help everybody. But back to Tony Robbins, I realize that we so often don't invest in ourselves. We don't push ourselves to be a better version of ourselves. And yet that next version might actually be this answer that you've been looking for. So when I was at Tony Robbins, a few of my key takeaways were, number one, I believe that a truly fulfilled life is living life on your terms and having endless amounts of energy. And so those are two things that I realized, like, what do I need to change right now in my life to develop that? And I made some massive action, and we decided that we're not going to have Tupperware and plastic water in our lives anymore. I realized that was an easy zone, whether it's true or not. The toxins, to me, that made sense. I look at the Tupperware in the microwave and see it like crackling, and decided, and it was a no question. We bought all new glass Tupperware. We bought glass water bottles, got rid of the water, and getting purified water as well. That was something I realized, like, hey, let's try this. That's something I've never done before. Let's see if by changing that could actually help me have a better life with more energy. Also, it's living in a beautiful state, meaning I get to choose. Every day I get to wake up and I get to choose, do I want to live in a beautiful state of faith, or do I want to live in a terrible state of fear? I get to choose that. And then working hard that when I see triggers or I get into this fearful state, which right now, don't worry guys, I've been there a lot. A lot of things have happened recently. But I get to choose that. And something that keeps coming back to me over and over and over again is our problems, if we choose, can actually be very positive things in our lives. So these last couple of months have been nuts. I've paid more in legal fees just over crazy things that have happened. Thankfully, not with us, but just having to deal with other people and having to figure out solutions. And I remember I called Kaylee and I was like, Kaylee, I feel like I should be so stressed out. And the reality is, like, this is so awesome that we're learning all these different things to prepare us for the future to be even better. Like, this means we're growing. And Kaylee laughed and she said, I never thought you would say that about this experience. And it was because I realized my problems, that I coined problems, actually can be very positive in my life if I allow them. And that was something that was like honed into me over and over and over again. And I really loved the Unleash the Power Within, and just that, even that phrase of, you guys, there's so much power within each of us in your practices. And I think so often we undermine ourselves. We get into this rut of all of our negative beliefs. So a quick action item for you guys. This is probably one of my favorite parts. So it's going to be tangible. You and your whole team could do it. You guys could even turn on a timer. So I'll walk you through exactly how to do it. But Tony Robbins had us go through, he was talking about our limiting beliefs. We all have them. Every single one of us have that. We're so afraid of fear of rejection, because if we're rejected, we won't be loved, like at our core. And that really resonated with me, realizing even on a deeper level that I'm afraid of rejection, but it's because I'm ultimately afraid of not being loved. So he had us write down our 3 most limiting beliefs. Like, if these ones were gone, I would be on top of the world. So the first one for me was that I'm not good enough. I've said that for so many years. It's become kind of an identity for me. I'm not good enough to run a business. I'm not good enough for Jason. I'm not good enough for my friends. I'm not good enough for my family. I'm not good enough for myself. So that was one of my limiting beliefs. The other one was, this is going to sound wild to you guys, so judge me or play along. You guys should write down your 3 most limiting beliefs. The second one I had was, being a girl, I can't be successful. That, I don't believe, you guys. This is just one of my limiting beliefs. I believe that because I'm a girl, I won't be able to be successful. I don't know if you guys have heard, Taylor Swift is one of my favorite people. Yes. And Taylor Swift has a song that just came out on her most recent album, Lover, where it's called If I Was the Man. And it says, like, would I get there quicker if I was a man? And that song has resonated with me so much, because that's been a limiting belief, that if I'm a girl, I can't be successful in a male dominant society. Now, of course, logically, you guys, I know that that's not true, but look at your limiting beliefs. Logically, I know I am enough. You guys, I'm a human being. I was born with everything within me to be incredible just from birth. Like, I didn't ask for my heart. I didn't have to do anything for it. And I was given this amazing heart. My mind, like, those were just given to me when I was born. So on a logical level, these limiting beliefs are obviously ludicrous. But in my heart, when I'm really being honest with you guys, like, which is really scary, I'm seriously putting out Kira Dent's like most insecure zone to the world. And I just all of a sudden had that like terrified moment right here while I'm live on the mic, because some of you out there might be judging me of like, oh my gosh, what is she thinking? You might be resonating. And I just literally in this moment, I'm talking myself through this right now live with you guys. I realized, if I want you guys to be real and I want you to have breakthroughs and I want to ultimately positively impact you, how on earth, like, how dare me expect you to be vulnerable if I'm not willing to? Judgment or no judgment, what does it matter what you think of my limiting beliefs? These are mine. You can judge them all you want. It doesn't change it. These are mine. Okay. Hello, Dentally Team listeners. I am so excited because we have truly been fortunate and blessed to work with so many incredible practices across the nation and globe. We have what is called our Platinum Practice, and that is super popular. And this quarter, we are only bringing in 3 new Platinum practices. This is an area that is going to grow you exponentially. So give us a call. We only have limited space. I said only 3 this quarter due to popularity and demand. So let's get you in as a Platinum practice this quarter. And then my third one, the third limiting belief I had, hang on. I'm trying to recall these because I actually obliterated them so much. That being wealthy was wrong. Growing up religious, money is pride, or money is the root of all evil. And if I want these, you guys, truthfully, another podcast, another day, I will admit to you how much I love cars. I am a car fanatic. I have an Audi S4. I souped it up. I chipped and tuned it. It's a manual. Yes, I do drive stick shift, and I purposely did that because it's faster and I can race and I can feel like a race car driver, and I have this deep desire in me to actually race cars someday. I love going to drag races. They have them in Reno. I love Ford versus Ferrari. I am lit up. I go drive my car super fast. I have tested. I can get from 0 to 60 in 4 seconds flat in my car. The Tesla I know can whoop me, but there is something about just that gas engine and revving it. I understand that automatics can go faster than manuals, but gosh, it's so fun. I have tripped out red calipers. It's a white car with black rims. I'm obsessed, you guys, with cars. I've loved cars my whole life, and I love fast cars. And so there's parts of me, you guys, in all transparency, there are reasons that I run a business. I love, love, love dentistry. I love to give back. I love connecting with our clients. I just got off a coaching call before I got on the podcast of, helping him break through. And it was so exhilarating to see him have a breakthrough. That's why I do what I do. But I also run a business because I want to live a semi-extravagant life. There are parts of my life that I want to do. I want to fly first class when I go on vacation and not feel bad about it. I love to drive fast cars, and I love to dream about really fun, sporty cars. So if any of you out there want to geek out on cars with me, please email me. I will happily talk to you all day long about cars. So please, hello@thedentalteam.com. Just tell them this is Kira. It's going to be our geek out card zone. I just was actually talking to another client yesterday about our cars and souping up cars. So that's sometimes what my coaching calls turn into as well. But the reality is, I had this limiting belief that wealth was wrong, that wealth is evil. Being wealthy, and not just financially, but mentally, spiritually, physically, being wealthy was wrong. Okay? So those are my 3: that I'm not enough, that being a girl means I won't be successful, and that being wealthy is wrong. Okay? And those are the 3 biggest limiting. Of course, I have 1,000 others, you guys. No big deal. You all do too. But write down right now, what's holding you back from your dreams, from being the practice that you want it to be, from being the leader you want to be, from being the spouse or the parent or the person that you want to be. What are those 3 top limiting beliefs? And if you guys want, write them down. Write them down and think about what has actually been lost because of these limiting beliefs. What have you lost in your life? When I wrote down what has been lost in my past, in my present, and what's going to be lost in my future by believing I'm not good enough, by believing that because I'm a girl, I won't be successful, by believing that wealth is wrong. What have I lost in my past, in my present, and in my future? So Tony Robbins had us write all this down. And then this is the exercise to do. So I would challenge you guys, hit pause, write this down, because it was very powerful for me. And then what he had us do is he referred back to A Christmas Carol, and Scrooge, he has the ghosts of Christmas past that come and take him down. And remember, he's this miserable, very, very subdued, grumpy Mr. Scrooge. Then the ghosts of Christmas past come, they take him through his life of what his life will be if he continues down the path that he's going to be. And then he wakes up, and remember, he's joyous and he's saying hello to everyone, and he's so happy because he woke up and it was just a nightmare and it wasn't his reality. So for me, what Tony Robbins has to do is we had to put eye shades on. So an eye mask. If you're Tiffany Trader, you've got 3 of these. But we had to put these eye shades on. And what we had to do, and I think it was between 10 and 15 minutes, we had to have these eye shades on, and they had us imagine what our lives will be like if we continue believing these limiting beliefs for the next 5 years. And they said, don't just imagine it, feel it, be present. It got so real for me, you guys. I was bawling, and like I was in the room with Jason, and they said, don't comfort the person next to you because they need to realize that they're strong enough to get through this. You guys, I saw in vivid detail my life deteriorating in 5 years, 10 years. And they had us, ask the questions of what does your life look like? Who's not in your life anymore? What people have you hurt because of these limiting beliefs? What things have you missed out on? What does your family look like? And for me, it hit me so hard. And the reason they did this wasn't to, be awful, but they were doing it as leverage to get us to where we would never go back to those limiting beliefs. And for me, again, incredibly vulnerable to this world of dental people that I don't even know who you are, a lot of you. And to share my most real, raw self sometimes is terrifying, you guys. But I also will say thank you for going on this journey with me. So when I was going through this is where I'll get really personal. In 5 years, I wasn't married. I had missed out on the opportunity to have kids. So I didn't have kids. I remember just feeling this sadness and this weight by believing that I wasn't good enough, that being wealthy was wrong, that being a girl, I couldn't be successful. I also saw myself not expanding the business, not helping people, thinking of all these people that we missed, and I was just depressed. I was downright depressed. And then they asked us, like, in 10 years, what would be the worst case scenario and where would it be and who would you be and who, and going down this path. Now for my husband, his wasn't as real. He said he didn't get as much leverage. For me, it gave me enough leverage because I really did feel like I was sitting in the Ghosts of Christmas Past. And I remember what they said is at the 5 year, imagine yourself looking in the mirror in 5 years and what would you say to yourself? And I remember just hating myself, hating with an H, hating. And then they said, where will you be in 10 years? Like, think of your worst absolute possible. Like, this is where you were in 5 years. What's a 10 year? And they went to 15 years and 20 years. Well, for me at 10 years, I actually saw myself at my funeral. So my parents were there, my siblings were there, my family. I just saw the agony, and I had let my health deteriorate. I wasn't eating. I had gone back to being anorexic, which I struggled with all through high school and middle school. And I saw myself literally have my body deteriorate so much that in 10 years from today, I actually saw myself at a funeral. So when they said, look in the mirror in 10 years, who are you? Like, what would you say to yourself? I was silent. That was so real for me, you guys. Like, just the tears and the agony and the sadness that I remember as soon as I got to take that eye mask off and writing down like how grateful I was and that I'm never going to live by these limiting beliefs and changing them, because what they had us do afterwards is now I've got leverage. Like, that is enough leverage that I will not be that person. It became a must for me not to be that person because I want to live. I want to give back. I want to have a family. I want to have a vibrant relationship with my husband. I want to be so good in this world and help so many people and just share and give and love on a deeper level than I've ever done before. And it was like I felt the words and the actions were flowing out of me. And Tony Robbins had us actually change our limiting beliefs to something stronger. And so we like brainstormed, cross out I am not good enough or whatever your limiting belief is. So I crossed out like I am not enough. Okay, cross that off. And instead I wrote down, I brain dumped all these things, and then I circled a sentence that stood out to me. And instead of not being good enough, like that one's completely gone. And I replaced it, how they say, like scratch out an old CD and put in a new CD is basically what we're going for here. But I put in the new one of I make myself proud. The other one that I really loved for that one was I have everything that people want, including myself. And those two, and then we said it over and over and over again until now. That's what I think of is I make myself proud. It doesn't matter what other people think of me, if they judge me, and you guys, this has been like 2 days in, so don't worry, I might not be there, but I really do feel that because if I believe that I'm not good enough, I saw what my life would be in 10 years. And that's not a life that I want. So then, and who knows, guess what, guys? I might get hit by a bus tomorrow. But the reality is I'm not living in that fearful state, those limiting beliefs anymore. For a girl, being a girl, I can't be successful. Well, I changed that to being a girl is my divine power or my ultimate power. So being a girl is my ultimate power. And that is so much stronger. And it feels so good to me because I'm like, being a girl is my ultimate power. Because I'm a girl, I'm able to impact people differently. I'm able to impact myself differently. I have different relationships. But I had been sitting here thinking because I was a girl, I can't be successful. And it's like, oh, actually, hold up. Because I am a girl, and it doesn't matter. You guys have your own. This is just a sentence that resonated for me. I'm not saying this is gospel. This is just what mine changed to. So you guys have an example to follow. And then the third one with being wealthy. I wrote that being wealthy was bad, right? And after that whole dream and that whole thing that I saw, I was like, oh no. And so I brainstormed a bunch of ideas, and the sentence that stuck out to me that resonated with me the most was, extreme wealth is my ultimate destiny. And I love that so much because wealth doesn't just have to be financial. And guess what? There is a piece of me that wants extreme financial wealth, and I am okay with that. You guys write me hate mail on hello@thedental-A-team, and that's fine because I am confident that I know why. And I know who I am, and I don't have to hate myself for these passions and these desires. Obviously, if you've got bad passions, get rid of that. Write those down and get rid of those. But the reality is I know why I want to do it. I know the vision. I saw it. It was so clear. And so we said those over and over. So we'd say I'm not good enough. And he had us do these ridiculously cheesy ones. And I won't share everything because you guys should all go to a Tony Robbins event. But the point of this was to get the leverage. And I was actually just talking to a client today. And so for all of you, and he said, Kira, what if COVID hits again? And what if my patients dry up? And I told him, I said, please go do the Ghosts of Christmas Past and imagine yourself in that. Because I said, you have a choice. You can either choose to go down that path, or you can choose the mantra of no matter what happens, you will find the solution. And he said, you're right. I will. And so we kind of mapped out a plan for him. But then I had him say, imagine yourself going down that path and give yourself the leverage to where for certain, like Kira Dent, that you will not be that person. And so I would just challenge you guys to look at your lives, to cut those limiting beliefs, to expand yourself, to grow yourself. In whatever realm that is. If you want to be better in your practice, you guys, I hire coaches. I have a personal consultant in my life. That's why the Dental A-Team exists, is because sometimes you need somebody to hold you accountable. Sometimes you need somebody who's gone before you that can show you the ropes, and not just anybody, but somebody who's been in those shoes and gets results over and over and over again. And that is the standard of the Dental A-Team. Yes, there are times that I have not been able to flip a practice, and I look at that and I assess it and I work with that office to find out. But the Dental A-Team has consistently over and over and over again grown practices, implemented leadership teams, solved morale, increased production, lowered overhead, increased hygiene production consistently, because I'm all about getting a coach, but I want a coach that gets results. A coach is going to tell me things I don't want to hear, but they're going to push me and they're going to grow me. And so with that, you guys, what do you need to do today to get the massive action, the life that you ultimately want to have? I wrote down, I've got to get a mentor. I needed to do different things. I wrote that down through Tony Robbins, and I got a great mentor, and I'm taking massive action because I don't want that life that I saw in 10 years. I want to live this vibrant life of this person who's passionate and excited about life. So whatever it was, I don't know who this podcast was for, you guys. Sometimes I get on the mic and I'm like, wow, Kira, you just went down a rabbit hole. But for some reason, I know there's someone out there listening today, and this podcast was for you. I don't know why. Could have been for many of you. I don't know. But if you're like, yeah, that's me, or yes, I needed the push, or thank you for helping me see what my life could look like in 10 years or 15 or 20, to give me the leverage to change who I am today, to get rid of those dang limiting beliefs. We all have them. They're like nasty cobwebs. Clear them out of your brain and then push yourself to become the best version of you. Every single one of us, I think they said how many people don't write the book or don't sing the song or don't take the action because they're so afraid. And today I'm going to invite you. I'm going to extend a hand out to wherever you want to be, whether it's a practice, whether it's growing in leadership, wherever it is, take the action. If you need to call the Dental A-Team and schedule us, do it today. If you want to be part of our platinum group that gets in office or leadership team development, do it. If you just need accountability, join our silver group. You guys, silver is for one-on-one. If you just need help docs or OMs and you want one-on-one help, that's silver. If you want the whole team immersion, that's gold. We're going to virtually help you and your team in full team immersion. And if you're the platinum of hands-on, I want you guys there every single step of the way. You're either coming in practice or you're developing a leadership team or both. Get in there with platinum. If you need to write your limiting beliefs today and change, do that. Whatever it is, today is the day, you guys. Don't wait and be like, oh, this is such a good podcast, I'll do it tomorrow. Do it today. You're in the zone. You're fired up. You're lit up. Feel those feels. It was miserable. You guys bawling, tears pouring down. And I get my eyelashes done. I was so mad because I'm like, these are getting ruined. Frustration. But to see it, you guys, it's so crystal clear, and I have so much leverage to not be there. So much fire and vibration. And that's what I want to share with you guys today. So who are you going to be? What do you need to do? Take the massive action. hello@thedentallyteam.com if you need some help. Always happy to help you. And as always, you guys, thank you so much for listening, and I'll catch you next time on the Dental A Team podcast. And you guys, that's a wrap on the Dental A Team. But don't worry, the Dental A Team actually has a newsletter where we send out more tips and tricks every single week straight to your inbox. No, these are not podcast topics. These are additional topics that have downloadable forms. So head on over right now to thedentalateam.com, register for our free newsletter. We don't spam you. We don't send you junk. We just send you tips and tricks for your team. This is a great way, you guys. You could get your whole team on an email campaign if you can't get them to listen to the podcast. So head on over to thedentalateam.com right now and become part of our newsletter family.